What about the Champions League? Of course, Real Madrid look like they're in a pretty solid position when it comes to the league, but in Champions League, which we know is kicking off next week, round of 16.
I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay
against
defensively.
Leipzig.
They should be over 2 games. When it gets to the real business end of the Champions League, you know, quarters, semis, if indeed they get there, which I expect them to do, then they're going to need to get 1 or 2 of those centre-halves back, particularly Antonio Rudiger, who's the closest to coming back, along with Nacho, otherwise they're going to be toast.
What do you think is the big concern for Real Madrid as they think ahead to the Champions League and that better competition? Because they certainly weren't tested
just
today.
Exactly what Craig's been talking about.
You told me that graphic would be fixed by the time we came here.
I thought it might have adjusted. I guess the odds makers must be asleep.
We're not having Bayern Munich as second favourites. We're refusing.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
So I think we'd all have City ahead of Real Madrid. Is there anybody else you'd have ahead of them?
No.
Not Arsenal, not Bayern Munich?
No.
Really?
No, not at all. No. The key for them is the centre-back position, getting people back. Because against proper teams, they won't be able to deny the ball and space and time, and they're not going to be able to stop City, for example, from getting in the penalty box. And that's when you need your real centre-backs to be in the right place at the right time, making good decisions. You can't play against a City or an Arsenal with 2 guys out of position at centre-back. You just can't do it. You don't win the Champions League with that in your team. So that is the only concern. Because the rest of it, what we saw today, frightening. You don't want any.
Do you think they better stop the service to say it was Dovbyk today, big strong lad up front who's been scoring goals. If it's City, if he's fit, it's Haaland.
Yeah.
Right. Listen, they ain't stopping the service to Haaland, so it's how they would be able to cope with that. And you know, I think if they don't get those guys back. Yeah. That's a big problem.
There was some hope that Rudiger would play today. There's actually now a report out of Spain he might be out a couple weeks, so who knows how long that could go. Luis, to that point, how big of an issue are these defensive concerns, these injuries, if they're still lingering when we get to those big Champions League games for Real Madrid? Do you think that could be their undoing?
Yes, of course, is a concern for Real Madrid because the guys are talking. When you are going to face the best of the best in the highest competitions, you know that the one mistake is going to make you be out of the Champions League, and you cannot allow that. We saw what happened against Atletico in Madrid. There was some struggle between Nacho and Carvajal because of the misunderstanding, because they are not in the position. Nacho is used to play more in that position, but Carvajal not at all today. He wasn't tested at all, not even once. I think a couple of times Dovby was trying to hold him a little bit and play as a number 9, as a player who is going to hold and lay off. But when you play, and you guys are talking Harry Kane or Haaland or players who are physically strong, who is got players around them that they're going to feed them with balls, I think they can struggle so much. But today we cannot even make an argument because they were not tested. But I think it's going to be an issue with teams that in transition can be quicker, can make faster transition in attack. I think this Real Madrid can struggle a little bit. But again, we've been talking. So far, they've done an amazing job. It doesn't matter who is in the middle because we've seen Tchouaméni playing as a centre-back. We've seen Nacho, we've seen Carvajal. We've seen so many different partnerships at the back. And all of them have managed to go through and get the results. So, yeah, Real Madrid is going to play against Leipzig. The first one away, the second one at home. So I think that once